Breaking news, my country people. The Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawale, has issued a stern warning to Rotimi Amaechi after the former Rivers State governor called on Nigerians to take to the streets over the dire and the troubling state of the nation. Last week, Amaechi expressed dissatisfaction with the situation of things in the country, saying Nigerians should be protesting over the hardship in the country. And reacting to Amaechi's remark, Bello Matawale accused Amaechi, saying Amaechi wants to incite violence and unrest among the Nigerian populace, calling out Amaechi that Amaechi wants to, use the youth to incite violence and to revolt against Tinubu's administration. And he released a statement where he noted that the former Minister of Transportation, that's Rotimi Amaechi, should refrain from making inflammatory remarks that threatens the peace and the stability of the nation. So, Bello Matawale expressed deep concerns over the dangers such rhetoric portends, describing it as preposterous and shameless, where he noted that it is reckless and insensible and irresponsible for a former public servant like Amaechi to incite Nigerians against their own government at a time when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working tirelessly to address the challenges facing the nation through various reforms that are yielding results. That it is quite absurd. It is shameful for someone, especially in the person of Rotimi Amaechi, to exploit this genuine situation of Nigerians for selfish and political gain. So the minister reiterated President Tinubu's commitment to safeguarding the peace and the security of every Nigerian, warning that any effort, any attempt whatsoever to destabilize the country through incitement will not be tolerated, that they will not allow anybody to fuel violence or to manipulate the prevailing situation of Nigerians. So they have served this final warning to Amaechi and his cohorts that instead of them to join hands together with Tinubu to move the country forward, they are choosing to stay aside to create problems for Tinubu's administration. Well, Amaechi has been coming under intense fire over his statement concerning Tinubu's government. Let's not forget when Amaechi called out to the youths, saying that the youths are silent. Amaechi questioned why the Nigerian youth are silent despite the current economic hardship brought upon by Tinubu's government. So some persons have been lashing back at Rotimi Amaechi, saying that Amaechi was among the leaders that destroyed Nigeria and suppressed the Nigerian youth from redeeming the country when he was a former transport minister under the former president Muhammad Buhari. But let's not forget, Amaechi, who is now, this former transport minister and former governor of Rivers State, has now expressed deep disappointment. It seems that he has realized, his previous mistakes and expressed disappointment at Nigerians and our response to the nation's economic challenges. He noted that he expected the youth to do something. So in this recent interview, Amaechi lamented the high cost of living, the rising prices of fuel, and other economic pressures, saying he was surprised by how calm Nigerians are, that Nigerians are so patient, Nigerians are so calm, that he expected more agitation, especially from the youths. Like he thought he would see people protesting, but he was quite shocked that Nigerians remain silent, and he's truly baffled by the lack of action from Nigerians concerning the current economic woes we are facing. So some persons lash back at Amaechi, saying that he was among the Nigerian elders that destroyed this country. He destroyed and denied, the youth leadership opportunities. So now he's turning back to ask the youth to clean up their mess, to clean up the mistakes they once made. And let's not forget how Rotimi Amaechi noted, that the youth should rise up. So people were now lashing back at Amaechi, that Amaechi shouldn't have, made this kind of statement, because he was among those persons that plunged Nigeria into this mess. So it's obvious, according to Nigerians, that since Amaechi is no longer eating the national cake, he's now against those that are eating the national cake and wants to spoil things for them. So they said leadership is by example. Now, these persons that are coming to tell Nigerians, giving Nigerians advice, when they were in power, they were not leading by example. They say what goes around surely will come around. Rotimi Amaechi, when he was in power, he did not do anything, to help the Nigerian youth. Now he's calling out to the Nigerian youth to do something because he's not at the round table. He's not partaking in those that are eating the share of the national cake. So some persons have been firing back at him. But let's not forget, this Tinubu's administration, they don't do well with criticisms. They don't do very well with criticisms. They always go after those that criticizes them. So the defense minister sent a final warning to Amaechi, saying that he should be very careful because he has called for violence. He has called for unrest, using the youth to perpetrate violence in the country. That any wrong move from Amaechi, he will find himself in a very tight situation, and he wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want such. So the defense minister have said Rotimi Amaechi should be very, very careful. He should be careful. So Amaechi in this interview was talking about Rivers politics and how he did not sponsor Togri, how he made sure his administration, every person was held accountable for their actions and all of that. Let's not forget the Rivers crisis and how Rotimi Amaechi somehow have distanced himself from the Rivers crisis. He tends not to have anybody he's supporting. Despite him being a former governor of the state, he doesn't support anybody. He's not supporting Fubara. He's not supporting Wike. He's just there. He's just there. So my country people, make una come shook mouth for this matter. The fact that the defense minister have, queried Rotimi Amaechi for his comments. Now, some persons are also saying Rotimi Amaechi was among those, that put Nigeria in this position. When he was in power, he suppressed the youth. He was not calling out for the youth. He never spoke in line with the demands of Nigerians. But now, what has happened? The same Amaechi is now calling for a protest, that the Nigerian youth should come and protest against Tinubu. Wonders shall never end. Guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.